passenger was murdered, and every one of you is a suspect.
Murder on the Orient Express? Why this novel?
It's a timeless classic. It's full of very vivid, distinct characters, and if you can bring a great cast to it and give it a modern, emotional twist and a big, widescreen treatment, I think it's a great thing to go watch.
A lot of stars in this movie.
Yeah.
How was the casting process? Like calling some old friends or?
Well, no, actually, it was, interestingly, Judi Dench was the first one involved, and she became somebody who made it possible for everybody else. So when I rang Penelope Cruz, of course, she had worked with Judi, who she spoke about in the most glowing terms. So she knew already she had a friend and somebody that she admired. So Judi became a great calling card for everybody else.
When you thought about doing this adaptation, did you worry about how the fans of the novel were going to take it? Because it's really different. There's a lot of changes.
Because of my background in the classical theatre and other, films that I've made that have been made before, you honour what has gone before, but you need to have a new reason to do it. You need to feel excited about doing something different, and you hope that the fans are the ones who are most passionately interested in the material. So if they react in a passionate way, that's good, and it's the kind of thing that creates strong feeling. And I like that. It's nice when the classics always do that. I like people like their own particular Poirots or their own particular, versions of how characters are presented. But I felt we had something new. We had a great cast, and we had humour, lots of humour as well as something quite passionate and emotional by the end of the movie.
That's really different. The humor about your character is something that you can't tell in the novels. Why did you took this approach, and did you knew you were going to do this from the beginning, like this comedy thing?
Well, it just seemed that he was obsessive compulsive, and it just means that I feel that in all our lives, people try and control the world. In order to survive, we're so overstimulated that, in Poirot's case, it's to do with his breakfast. He wants 2 eggs of exactly the same size. Of course, that's an absurd thing to require, and yet it's funny at the same time. And he kind of knows it's funny at the same time as sort of needing to do it, because for him, chaos is imbalance, it's disharmony. He needs that desk to be clear, he needs room for those little grey cells, and although it's sort of ridiculous, it's funny at the same time, or at least he has to, and maybe we have to find it funny, because if we didn't laugh, we might cry. And that little balance is, I think, a powerful part of the character.
I would love to know what things did you had to cut off because of all the information.
Well, it's interesting. In the screenplay, we had a dream sequence that went. We added things in instead, apart from cutting things out. We lost a few characters. There's a doctor in the original novel, another doctor who's quite important. We make our Colonel Arbuthnot, Leslie Odom, a doctor, and we got to play around a little bit with the toy box that is the Agatha Christie world. And hopefully you don't cut the thing that is the thing that somebody loves, and that some of the new things will also be part of trying to fool people into thinking that if they do think they know how it ends, that we make that a little different.
There is a murderer among us. Let us see who.